because we saw even in that grand final, it took BW a whole, it took him a whole like extra set, to win, because Luxray did end up making it back that first set all the way up until that last game when BW was able to make that like win. And if BW can do it in 1 set of 5, that's gonna be really important kind of going on, because that means that he may be able to like kind of keep this momentum going for himself.
True. Well, we shall see, because I think part of what we also have to remember is Luxray ran him through his Luxray gauntlet. Now, that definitely was like, hey, so that Falco match, that might not have been a super difficult match, right? So we'll see if Luxray says, hey, I'm going to go through a gauntlet, or I'm going to start off with either Donkey Kong or not a Donkey Kong, but the Incineroar. And it looks like he means business tonight. It looks like he means business. He's going with Incineroar, and they are going to get started, and we're going to join them now.
I will say, one thing that kind of may be different at the start of this set than at the end of the last set is that we did see the adaptation, which is why BW won. Once you got through that second set, BW finally kind of figured out that, I can just throw Saw Blade when he tries to side B, or I can just nair and jab whenever he's going to side B, far away. He's starting to, he understands how often these habits kind of happen with Luxray. And we already saw at the beginning of this match a bunch of uses of this side B from Luxray. We saw it last match against Abyss with the couple conditionings that he was going for. And here again, the types of ledge guards, runaway, side B, which is kind of a staple of heavies. I learned recently, I was talking to my friend Thugnificent, a Bowser specialist, as well as just heavy in general, is that he remembered recently how crazy good for heavies, being very pressuring at near ledge, and then literally just running away is. Because all of a sudden you get reads like that where had the spot dodge not been as strong of an option, BW would have been in a really rough spot there. But taking him out with that back throw, really good start for BW. I think that, as you kind of see, we're going to be seeing Incineroar fighting on his back foot now for the rest of this game. Going for the read. He's going to get back thrown? Yes, he is. Not going to die yet. PS2 is pretty wide, and that was some really good DI. Something also that super hard to master, and that's not going to save you. No DI there. No DI in the world will save you there. And I think that's fine. I think that for BW, he has just been on point all night, and I also think that Luxray, going into that last set, like I said earlier, he looked really clean. And look at that, already back in this game, and trying to go for that ledge guard again, going for the run back to side B, and aware of it is BW. We see him backing into the corner, getting out of it, trying to retain that neutral ground, using the priority of that up tilt to beat out Incineroar's jab. Really smart use case for it there. Really unexpected. But there it is, that side B again, that clothesline. Gotta be careful. I feel like I'm reliving grand finals.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a tight match, and I really love how competitive they have made it for each other.
Yeah. Wow. The weird fallout from that knockback on up smash was likely just on the left side of it and tried to SDI out right. And because he was already so far out of it, he kind of just surfed across the top of it instead of being held in the middle. And it did work out for BW. He was able to use that damage, and a mess up there from Luxray. Don't normally see that. Usually is really consistent with those. And even then, if he mistimes it, usually he does get the vertical version of it. But I think that what's kind of changing is that these matches in the future after that last grand final set are definitely going to get way closer than possibly any of the other high-end matches that we see often. And I say that because Luxray, there are shortcomings to Incineroar, which especially pertain to his movement on the ground and airspeed. And you see how hard it is for him to even get close to BW. Anytime he's far away, the damage rack up for Luxray is very small. He does not get BW up very fast. Because, like, there really isn't anything you can do. Countering does not help you because eventually you're just going to be hit by so many pellets that it won't matter. And I think BW is kind of aware of that now, kind of playing into that as well by not always running away, because he doesn't want Luxray to kind of figure this out, not even giving a chance to get back. Is that back air, that crazy move from BW, spacing it super well too. And we saw the patience coming out from Luxray here in this match, waiting to see what BW do, going for the wrong read there, trying to make up for it with that extra side B there, and then like kind of having his number there, trying to go for that back throw, like overcommitting just a little bit, because the way BW used that back air at the end was also just very like fade in, fade back, and like he just was able to perfectly get out and then punish right back in, and it's just like, you see that at the highest level, and that's kind of also what I talk about like really punishing something by like reaction, as well as purposefully like anticipating yourself to get punished if you try to just run in. And a lot of times against characters like Incineroar, like certain heavy characters, even characters like Mega Man and others to an extent, like you'll see anytime somebody tries to run in aimlessly, or even not aimlessly, but just like they try to play very aggressive, you'll see times where players just get red so hard because they maybe overextend, and then they try to like compensate for that, and that just screws them, because then they're like in a really hard position that's getting punished twice now. Once because they messed up, and the other is because like they tried to fix their mess up. It's like being a plate juggler, and like you drop one plate, so you try to like catch it, but in the process of catching that plate, you drop all the other plates, or something like that. I don't know. But, like it's such like a weird like analogy, but it kind of works, I think. Ooh, definitely an interesting counter pick for Luxray. I'm curious as to why, and not like maybe small battlefield. Possibly that's where the bans went to. And I'm also kind of surprised about not going to like a tri-platform, like maybe a battlefield or something on the lines of that, because I feel like when you're on this wide of a stage with no platforms in the middle, like even less so in the middle than PS2, he is going to get that up. Okay, that does kill. Nice. Yep. So he is getting the stock lead. So I guess it's not that part of a stage for Luxray. Maybe kind of eyeing in on the fact that BW did lose on this stage against RP4 earlier tonight, and that is possibly something that, like, when you're at this high of a level, that may matter. Like, your experience on the stage, your comfort level on this stage is something that is a factor when you are playing against these high level opponents. And we are seeing for Luxray, who's probably super comfortable in the position he's at 160, catching that Solid Blade, throwing it back, and forcing BW to approach, now getting him punished for doing so. Ooh, really scared there. Is BW throwing out that up smash and getting punished again for that side B. Finally poking that shield, using the back air. Trusty tool. Nice. Getting himself back into this game, getting Luxray to 51%. Now 60. Really using those nairs and edge guarding well. Nice. Salvage jump. Oh, that was really desperation for Luxray. He had to use the up B there. And if BW was a bit earlier to release that, definitely would have spelled doom for that stock. But BW, not necessarily too worried yet, has gotten 42% of extra credit for himself here. Ooh, he's still getting out of these situations where you'd think that at this time he would have lost his stock yet. Still alive. Let's see if he's able to continue. He is. Super scary. Gets the back air raid again. However, BW at 42%. Like, definitely gonna be playing some catch up here, but it's not too much. Ooh, nice. Using the jab getting it canceled by BW's Lemon also allowed him to just throw out neutral B and even get even more percent than what originally would have been confirmed. Really good awareness by Luxray there.
Yep. And we are down to the wire again as we come to 3 minutes left, and this is game number 2 right now.
Yeah.
Both these guys down to their final stop.
Yeah, this is so important for either player here because it kind of really decides the type of momentum they have going in. Will you have somebody like BW who's going to probably really go crazy if he wins this game because, like, we know the type of player he is. He feeds so well off of momentum. That's not going to kill yet. But, ooh, goes for the low read, doesn't get it. Ooh, that's going to do it. And there it is.
We are knotted up
One
at
small
1-1
mistake.
apiece.
Man. Yeah, and that one read at the end is pretty much what I'd say cost him. He thought that Luxray went low, and I think that was just a miscalculation based on where Luxray was. And maybe just, like, also just forgetting the airspeed. Because Incineroar, like I mentioned earlier, isn't that fast of a character, regardless of whether you're on the ground or not. And I think for him, he kind of just noticed that, or he just misnoticed, made a mistake just about, hey, Incineroar is like hovering in the air. He just used his jump. What options does he have? And he decided that Incineroar would probably try to get a ledge there, which is valid. Like, he was close to it. And it's something that you're usually expecting because it's usually the option they want to go for. And there, Luxray knew that he could just up B and for either thing, because Luxray knew that it was a 50-50 if he was being attacked or not. And doing that up B also granted him that armor, which is why he did not get attacked by BW's F smash that he was going for at the end of that, which is kind of what cost that game at the end. But definitely a different outcome than I was personally expecting towards the end of that. I just thought that right up until that prior read that BW had a really good chance to take it, and kind of throwing a foot in my mouth is Luxray saying, nah, like, I'm doing really good this game, this third game rather, as well as that last game taking the W and showing that I'm not replaced just yet. Nice back throw, getting him into disadvantage, using that jump, really saving your resources, but there it is, the reversal into the spike for BW, and we saw Luxray taking a second, just compose himself, be like, all right, it's just a spike, that happens all the time with Mega Man. It's annoying, but, like, I got this. And going for the double spike, doesn't get punished for his BWs. Luxray still had to recover onto the ledge before that, so he wasn't going to get hurt. Gets distracted by the saw, hits again, back throw again, similar situation. Goes for that back again. Nice way to wait, slow down the neutral pace, uses that saw blade and the fire sword to get out of that similar situation to what happened at the last game, but again, Luxray using that kind of mix-up of using up B high because there's no way to really contest it, like, from the ground. Him landing with the up B, the only way you can contest that is by literally, like, stepping back and just allowing him to hit wherever he hits. And then Incineroar bounces off the ground, and then whatever he does afterwards is, like, your time to punish.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a very small opportunity as well as kind of hard to react to because, like, you just have to figure out what you can even do in a situation like that, you know? Alrighty, at 150%. Luxray still in this game, literally a read away from taking the stock earlier than BW, similar to what happened to him this game against him. Nice forward air is BW. Forward smash charge, not going to do it yet. Tries to roll through, but the multi-hit that is neutral B did knock him away. Yeah, it's so good. Be careful. Another one of those will kill from that, even across stage, it seems like. Nice back air, finally taking that stock. Hopefully tries to go for some extra credit of some kind. Gonna live that. I don't know if he'll live another one. The up tilt, jab doesn't do it yet, the gentleman's. Ooh, tries to fall through with that sword blade, or the sword blade, the leaf shield, but does not have the ability to. I'm not sure if that's normally what happens or if it's like just a misinput from BW that caused him to be stuck. But hey, it happens. You cannot dwell too much on that because already Luxray is like, here comes the pain train as he deals 60% all the way. Pain train's coming, baby. Almost at 80% here. And there it is, those perfect side B attempts from Luxray. And there it is again, that conditioning, that fear that he was putting in. Nice DI again from BW. Not going to live another one though. Knows he has to go high. Luxray knows it too. That's where the up tilt comes from. On platform, and the F tilt is going to do it. Really nice stuff from Luxray there. Knowing what options he had, what his fastest get out of jail card was. And he tossed it on the table at the end with that F tilt. Like right here, watch. He goes for, stands at ledge, runs away. As soon as he sees the overcommit with that Kfair, that kind of like anticipation of something, that's where he was getting punished. And then right here, the card swipe. Here's your card.
All right, guys. So we are getting ready to go into game number 4. And it looks like we got a similar band on stages. Let's take a look at the bracket, guys. Let's catch you up on that. Maybe not. Let's go right back into the game.
These players want to go right into it.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
And small battlefield again. Now, I think this is a great change in stages for Luxray. I think it's a bit of the reason why he won this game last time. And I say that because, like, with the smaller stage, as well as the platforms, it creates an environment that allows Luxray to use the platforms without worrying about his character being able to even reach them. And we saw last game that use of the up tilt, the conditioning to make it like feel safe to go onto them by using this side B grab and these like conditioning by backing up so often, and then now using the fear of landing on them like due to up tilt to then hit him with these side Bs on the ground. Like, it's literally a double-edged sword. And I think that that's why Luxray plays this character so well and why people struggle so much with him, is that Luxray is so good at making you respect that side B that you forget that, like, when you see it, one of the best options to do against it is to just back off. And you sometimes do put yourself into situations where it is kind of hard to back off because, like, there's much more going on than like just doing something, you know. But there are situations where we've seen BW going for those Kfairs, going for those aerials, and if he had just not gone for one more aerial, he would have been so much safer than he was. Ooh, going for that neutral B now, knowing that he can't really be punished for doing so, is Luxray. Let's see, can he make it back? Overcommits again. That's one of those times that I talk about with other players, and it's something that BW only recently kind of was like getting it the hang of. And so I think that this is just a bit of that, like, that set fear that you kind of do have playing when somebody's conditioning you this hard. And when you're backed up against the wall, it's about how good of composure do you have. Will you be able to literally continue, like, not like overcommitting? Because even at the pro level, you see players who throw out one more move than necessary, or mash too hard, or even like decide to just run in a bit too early or too late, and that's like what costs them games. And for us here at a bit lower level, yeah, like those small instances and that build up is what Luxray did to win that match. And you saw, like, BW was not like just folded. It was that the change in stage, the decisions that Luxray made to try and condition BW these past two games with how crazy of a move side B can be at times, as well as making sure that he felt like there was no other option but to try and punish it. That's kind of what Luxray just really did good in this game. And I think in the set overall, especially off of that loss that he took against BW and pivoting that into a another win.
Yep. And just like that, BW Styles suffering a loss to the person he put out of his misery the other day. Luxray coming out with that super hard clothesline to finish that one up. He wins that set 3-1. And we're going to be moving over to the losers bracket now. Actually, as a matter of fact, so let's change this up to Smash Lobby.